everyone. This is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your monthly angel card reading for August 2019. For this month's monthly reading, we'll be using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland for the main message for everyone. We do have one card to show you from the Sirian Star Seed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha. And your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this month, is going to come from the Archangel Divination deck. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at your stones of choice for the month. Your first stone of choice for that special message card is this beautiful selenite palm stone. And selenite is a beautiful, opaque, whitish colored stone. It is high vibrational. It helps you to get in touch with the angelic realm, helps you to get in touch with future as well as past lives. Your second stone of choice is this beautiful Lemurian seed quartz crystal point. This is a masculine energy, as most of them are, with the point here on the edge, which is more directive and action oriented. Of course, the Lemurian seed crystals have encoded information in them from ancient times that we can utilize to assist us with our evolution and growth. And then your last stone of choice is a beautiful raw piece of labradorite. Isn't that beautiful how that bluish green kind of shines in it when it's turned? It has that beautiful reflection. And of course, labradorite comes from the stars. It comes from another star system, another time, another place. So this helps us to get in touch with our star brothers and sisters of the light and receive information and transmissions and messages from them. It can also be a great protecting and grounding stone because of the gray color of it. So again, your stones of choice this month are the beautiful selenite. We have a beautiful Lemurian seed quartz crystal, or we have the beautiful labradorite. Okay, so I'm going to put those stones aside here. And before we get into some of the astrological energies for the month, I want to just make a little brief announcement here that I do have a brand new website. It's kind of a redo, really, of the old website, but it looks totally different, and I would love for you to come and check it out. Send me a message via email. Tell me what you think. There's going to be a newsletter on there. There's a video page on there with the weekly and monthly angel card readings and a whole bunch of new energy there. So love to get your feedback. So let's go ahead and talk about the numerology vibration for the month of August. We always do that in my monthly readings. And so first, we have to remind ourselves, as we do every month, that we are in a 12 universal year energy. That takes 2019, if you add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9, it gets that 12 vibration. Of course, the lower digit of the 12, when you add the 1 plus the 2, is a 3 vibration. So we're talking about a year of expansion. We're talking about a year that focuses on creative self-expression, all forms of communication, as well as our belief systems and our thoughts and how we think. Do we think glass half full? Do we expand into that? Or do we think glass half empty and expand into that? Because the number 3 is a number of expansion. Now that number 12, just briefly, the 12th Major Arcana in the tarot, is in the John Holland deck that we're using. It's called Sacrifice. And so there's this element, this month, or this year I should say, that brings us to that sacrifice energy. We might feel like we're sacrificing a part of ourselves. We might feel that we're actually sacrificing an aspect of what we're here to do for the good of the world, or the good of humanity, or maybe the good of our family, or the good of the job, or the good of the relationship, whatever have you. So there's that element of sacrifice. Now, in the traditional tarot, number 12 is the Hanged Man. So that's about looking at things from a different perspective. You know, the Hanged Man is usually pictured as hanging upside down from a tree branch. So everything in his world looks different when you're hanging upside down. And he's kind of at that standstill. You know, there's no movement with the Hanged Man. So a lot of us may feel so far that this year of 2019, very slow movement. Maybe we feel like we're not moving at all. But again, if we change our perspective, like the Hanged Man hanging upside down, we can see that there actually is a lot of movement and a lot of growth and a lot of things that have been accomplished. A lot of things taking place energetically. So make sure that you're expanding your perceptions and looking at other possibilities, looking at things again from that different perspective this year. Now taking that 12 vibration of the year and adding it to the month of August, which is the 8th month, that gives us the number 20. So the universal month vibration for August is a 20. And again, if we look at the lower vibration of that, 2 plus 0 is a 2. And the 2 is all about balance, balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine, which means balancing the energy of allowing and receptivity with taking action and making things happen or initiating. It's about the balance of self versus others, which is another aspect of the number 2. It brings in the idea of relationships and equality, partnerships, diplomacy, patience, and all things being balanced. And this is also about balancing our home life and our career life. So again, if you take that word balance and you apply it to every aspect of your life, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, you get an idea of what the number 2 vibration for the month of August is about. Now we want to look at the 20 because that's really what August adds up to. So if we look at Major Arcana 20, in the traditional tarot, this is called the Judgment card. Now I pulled the card from the Sirian Star Seed Tarot, so this is Major Arcana 20 from that deck. And in this deck it's called Karma. And karma, you know, it's what you put out, you're going to get back. It's the seeds that you sow from previous lifetime existences. Now that can be good and that can be not so good. So what do you think of when you think of karma and you think of past lives that's associated with that word karma? You think of things from the past that may be coming back around, things from the past that may be coming back around, patterns, relationships, situations. And this is to me what this karma card in the Sirian Star Seed Tarot is about. And you can see the ripple of water, you know, ripple of water here. And if you look really closely, in the middle that almost looks like a heart. So we have to remember that if we stay in our heart, if we stay in the place of the unconditional love and compassion of our heart, this rippling out effect of the karma is actually going to ripple into the future of this life and to the future of other lifetimes to bring what I call good karma points, to bring blessings into our life. Because karma isn't a bad word. It's not a negative thing. Karma just means what it is that you put out, the energy you put out to other people, to situations, that's going to be coming back to you. And the other thing here is, you know, this energy, I guess, you know, this configuration here. Now, it doesn't, you know, necessarily look totally like a phoenix, but when I look at it, just, you know, glancing at it, to me this looks like a phoenix energy. And maybe you do see the phoenix there. But the phoenix is this bird, a mythical bird, that went through this what do I want to say, this transformation, this transmutation, transmuting lower vibrational thoughts, beliefs, emotions, feelings, karmic patterns, and then rising from the ashes anew. Typically the story of the phoenix is that it flew into the sun. You know, the bird flew into the sun to assist the planet Earth from not getting burned up, and in the process it burned its feathers off. And then, you know, that bird rises from the ashes anew, reborn, so to speak. And that's what the traditional meaning of Major Arcana 20, the Judgment card in the traditional tarot, is about. It's about resurrection. And it's about rebirth, like death and rebirth. It's about revival. It's about being reawakened, rekindling something, regenerating something, renewing something, restoring something, or redoing something. So it's all of those re-words, sort of like Mercury retrograde, we talk about the re-words. So again, resurrection, rebirth, revival, reawaken, rekindle, regenerate, renew, restore, redo. And that's the typical meaning of the Judgment card, where something's coming back from the past to be redone. Something's coming back from the past to be revived or rebirthed. Something's being resurrected. Something's being reawakened. And that could be an old situation, an old relationship, an old belief system, an old pattern, so that we can move through that, I want to say once and for all, because we're getting to the end of the Major Arcana in the Tarot. There's 21 Major Arcana. So after the Judgment card, or the Karma card here, we get to the World card, which is the end of the soul's karmic journey, so to speak, through the Tarot. So with the Judgment card being 20, right before that 21st Major Arcana, we're getting to the end of something, which is why we're redoing something, or we're reawakening something, or resurrecting something from the past to kind of heal it, to move through it, to understand it fully, so that when the soul finishes its journey through the tarot, we've got it and we don't have to redo it again. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the astrological energies of significance for the month. Now, when I looked at all of the astrological energies, it looked like there was a lot of things involving Uranus, which is the planet of sudden and unexpected energies. It is considered the Great Awakener. So, here we have, remember, reawaken with the Judgment card. And with Uranus being the Great Awakener, he's awakening something. Now, we'll talk about some of the transits that other planets are having to Uranus. But Uranus seemed to be highlighted. Jupiter seemed to be highlighted, and Jupiter is known as the Great Benefic, and that quality of expansion. Jupiter likes to expand what it touches, which is why Jupiter is known as the planet of abundance, prosperity, and blessings. It can expand us into those blessings. But Jupiter can also expand us into challenging energies if our mind and our belief systems, our thoughts are focused on some of those challenging energies. So it can expand us into drama, for instance, or chaos. And we don't really want to be expanded into drama or chaos. So we need to pay attention to, again, glass half full mentality with our thoughts and our belief systems, and allow ourselves to be expanded in that way. Now, to start out, we have Venus challenging Uranus on the 2nd of August. Venus rules relationships, and it rules money or personal resources. So there could be some sudden unexpected redirection of a relationship or partnership in our life, or with our money or resources in our life. Now, we're going to feel that as it's approaching. So even on the 1st of August, we're feeling that, even though it doesn't come into exact connection until the 2nd. On the 7th and the 8th, the Sun and then Venus is in a positive connection to Jupiter. This is really nice, again, because Jupiter is the planet of blessings, and it brings an abundance of energy with it. The Sun is how we shine our light. It's in Leo right now. So we're really shining our light through the lens of Leo, leadership and generosity and creative self-expression. Venus is also in Leo. Venus, again, remember, rules relationships and money. So there could be some sort of financial windfall, for instance, or a very positive situation or circumstance in a relationship in our lives. But Venus is also considered a planet of blessings. And so when we have Venus and Jupiter coming together in a positive connection, there's something really good that's happening here. Again, we're in that Leo energy. So this is something where there's leadership, take charge, creative efforts, generosity, fun. Leo likes to have fun. It's very joyous, it's childlike, and it just is a very light-hearted energy. On the 11th, Jupiter goes to direct motion, which is a very positive thing. While Jupiter was retrograde over the last few months, it was internalizing this idea of blessings through our belief systems. In other words, I don't want to use the word testing, but it was asking us to really reflect on and look at what are our belief systems, because that's where we're going to expand our energies into. So over the past few weeks, past few months, while Jupiter was retrograde, we were needing to internalize Jupiter's energy to understand that and find the blessings within. Really find the blessings within yourself. But now that Jupiter's turning to direct motion on the 11th of August, now the blessings can expand outward again. When a planet is retrograde, it internalizes the energies. now that it's turning to direct motion, it can bring those abundance, prosperity, and blessings out into the outer life again. On the 11th also, we have Mercury moving into Leo. It's going to be really fast in the sign of Leo. It's only going to be there from the 11th until the, where is that? The 29th of this month. So within a few days in this month of August, we have Mercury going through the sign of Leo. Again, creative thinking, creative mind. Our speech, our communication with Mercury is much more maybe dramatic, maybe fun-loving, maybe leadership-oriented, very creative again. Also on the 11th is a big day, we have Uranus turning to retrograde motion at 6 degrees of Taurus. Now again, Uranus is the Great Awakener. Now it's going to internalize these energies of sudden and unexpected, higher vibrational God energies, God mind energies, the lightning bolt flashes of insight, all being internalized, which is not a bad thing. Now, Uranus is a very slow-moving planet, so it's going to take a long time as it's moving through its retrograde motion. In fact, it's retrograde all into next year, 2020. So basically, for the rest of this year, Uranus is traveling in retrograde motion, and it's a very slow-moving planet. I believe it only travels from 6 degrees Taurus, where it turns retrograde. I think it goes back to 2 degrees, again, towards the beginning of 2020. So we'll revisit that in a later video. But while it's turning retrograde is when we're going to feel the energies most intensely, as it is with any planet. Like when Mercury goes retrograde, when Jupiter's turning direct here on the 11th also, the same day that Uranus is turning retrograde, it's intensifying the energies of that particular planet in the sign that it's in, and in connection with any other planets that it might be making. So we're going to feel this really kind of electrical, maybe some of you might feel a little agitated, maybe some of you will have a hard time sleeping or focusing. It's really great to tap into, with higher mind energy, your psychic and intuitive gifts, or connecting into, again, the God mind and bringing through and channeling through the crown chakra this higher information. So right around that date is a great time to kind of do meditations or other spiritual exercises in order to tap into that higher vibrational creative God mind energy. On the 15th, we have a full moon at 22 degrees of Aquarius. So that means the sun is in Leo, the moon is opposite in the sign of Aquarius. Again, it's at 22 degrees. Now, full moons bring something to completion, or something to its fullest extent, and then to completion after the fact. In other words, as the full moon, it's growing larger and larger into its fullness. So a project, a situation, a circumstance within a relationship can be brought to its full potential right at the full moon on the 15th. And then thereafter, we're in what's called a waning moon cycle, where the moon starts to, again, then starts to decrease its reflective light. So after the full moon, and this is why full moons are called a completion cycle. New moons are a new beginning or initiating cycle. But with the full moon, we have this, again, a completion of some sort in that area of our lives where Aquarius is in our charts. Aquarius in general rules groups, connections with friends or acquaintances. It rules humanitarian efforts. It rules our hopes, dreams, and wishes as well. Okay, and don't think that that means that it's necessarily a bad thing as far as the completion and our hopes, dreams, and wishes. This can bring our hopes, dreams, and wishes to its potential, or it's like bringing that into existence. Or it can also, again, bring the fact that we need to release and let go of something so that maybe we can focus on a new potential or a new dream. Okay, let's look at the 18th. The 18th of August is when Mars moves into Virgo. We're starting to move into Virgo season after mid-month August. We were in Leo season. So on the 18th, Mars moves into Virgo. It will be in Virgo until the 4th of October. And Mars is the planet of energy and action. So with it being in Virgo, we're going to pay more attention to the details. We're going to take things step by step. We're going to initiate forward movement, but in a slow, kind of planned and organized way with Mars moving into Virgo. And then on the 21st, Venus moves into Virgo, the planet of love, relationships, money, and finances. And Venus will be in Virgo until September 19th. She starts to get a little bit more serious in regards to relationships and money. She might even become a little bit critical. You know, Virgo sometimes can be perfectionistic and critical, and we might start analyzing really our relationships and our financial situations. Now that can be a positive thing or a not so positive thing depending on how we want to filter that Virgo energy. On the 23rd, the Sun moves into Virgo. So again, that's around the time that the Sun moves into Virgo every year, around the 23rd or so of August for the next month, the Sun will be in Virgo, and that's how we shine our light. And then on the 29th, Mercury moves into Virgo. So now we have all of these personal planets in Virgo by the 29th. And again, Mercury is how we think. And so it's going to become very detail-oriented and organized and planning about the next step that it wants to take. Let me see if there's anything else here before the 29th, because I just wanted to tell you when all of these planets are moving into Virgo. On the 24th, 26th, 28th of August, we have Venus connecting with Mars, the two lovers. Venus rules the divine feminine, Mars rules the divine masculine. There could be something with relationship happening here. The 26th, 2 days later, Venus connects with Uranus, where there might be some sudden, unexpected situation in a relationship or with money. And then on the 28th, Mars is in a positive connection to Uranus. So something really redirects or gets activated as far as forward movement around that date. So those 3 days is very interesting. On the 29th, the same day Mercury goes into Virgo, the Sun connects with Uranus in a positive manner. So there's a lot of surprising kind of energies here as we enter those last few days of the month. And then considering the last day of the month, the 30th of August, we have a new moon at 6 degrees of Virgo. So the Sun and the moon are both in Virgo. So now we have a new beginning based on the mental level, which Virgo is about the mental body, our thinking, our processing, our analyzing, our understanding the parts that are a part of the whole. So that new beginning as we move into the month of September, brings this new energy on a mental level. All right, so that's kind of the highlights of what's going on astrologically. Let's take a look at the cards before we run out of time here. So the first card that came out, Major Arcana number 17. In this deck, it's called Hope. In the traditional tarot deck, it's called the Star card. And this is almost like someone's holding a star or a light of hope in their hands. And so this is, to me, a great way to start out this August reading for the month, is we're finding that sense of hope again. And maybe because July was eclipse season, and July's solar eclipse and lunar eclipse may have shaken up our lives a little bit, may have redirected some aspect of our lives a little bit, brought in new circumstances or old circumstances or energies we're leaving. Now we have this sense of hope, renewed hope. Remember that word of the Judgment card, renewal. We have this renewed sense of hope here. There's the light shining again, and we're either being given the light because the hands are being outheld, or we're giving the light perhaps to someone else or passing it on. So I think this is a great way to start this card. There looks like a little bit of rainbow energy down here. It's a little bit green here at the bottom, which is the heart chakra energy. And even where that light is, it's not directly in the palm of the hands, but it's up here where the heart chakra is. So we have this renewed sense of hope in our heart chakra. We're feeling good about something as we're moving forward into this month. Let's take a look at the next card. And the second card actually came out as two cards. And so the first of those two cards, let's turn that over. Okay, so we have the base chakra, the root chakra. This chakra is about our sense of being grounded and focused. And it's also about matters of security. It brings in ideas of the material realm, like our money and finances. So financial security could be about emotional security, the security of where we're living, feeling grounded and at home where we live. So there's something here going on with our sense of security, with this particular card. Let's take a look at the second card, because that probably has more information that will help us to understand what this is all about. Okay, so this is interesting because we have the One of Mental. In this deck, it's called the One of Mental. In the traditional tarot, this would be like the One of Swords, because you can see here this hand is coming out of the ground with a sword. The aces, or the ones, are always about new beginnings. So this is a new beginning on the mental level, a new beginning of how we're thinking. That relates to that new moon at the end of the month in Virgo, right? I said a new way of thinking with that new moon. So because this is coupled with the base chakra card, you know, there's a new beginning with how we're thinking about matters of our material resources, our financial resources, our, again, maybe our emotional resources, even though this is more dealing with career, job, life path, home, land, security, finances, money. But it could be our emotional security as well. So there's this new beginning that's happening. And with the Ace of Swords in the traditional tarot, sometimes that new beginning is fraught with some challenges, but it's nothing that we can't get through. Why is it fraught with challenges? Because the mental body, which this is all about, the mental realm, the mental body is where the ego thinks, you know, where we have these thoughts and ideas and belief systems. And that sometimes trips us up. That's why it's, you know, we have some challenges with this new beginning. However, again, this sword is coming through very strong, very high and mighty, and it's penetrating the light here. I'm interested that there's also some purple energy here, which is very high vibrational crown chakra energy. So I feel like higher insights, higher awareness. Again, all that Uranus energy that we were talking about, coming down, flowing down from the universe, from God, or what some might term the God mind, coming down through the crown chakra and penetrating us with these new ideas, new thoughts, and new beliefs, where we're, again, moving towards a new beginning of how we might be creating our finances, how we're operating out in the world, how we're operating within relationships, to bring us, again, this sense of security. And the last card, another Major Arcana number 13. In this deck, it's called Transformation. In the traditional tarot, it's called the Death card. Now, it's symbolic, death and rebirth. Remember, going back to this Judgment card, or the Karma card, rebirth, death and rebirth was part of that Judgment card. Now we have this rebirth of the Death card here, symbolically speaking. We're going through a transformation this month. And I feel like it's a very positive one. Again, sometimes transformations internally as well as externally can be challenging. But we have this hope card that leads the way in this, you know, August. We have this new beginning that says triumphant success. I didn't read that at the bottom earlier, but triumphant success. And then we have transformation. So we're going through some sort of transformation here that's bringing good things our way. That's bringing out this ripple effect of karma from the past, this life past or previous lifetimes past, that's rippling out and bringing us eventually the blessings like the lotus flower here, this beautiful pink heart chakra, compassion, unconditional love lotus flower. So let's take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. For those of you that chose the selenite palm stone, let's give this a little shuffle. We're asking the archangels to give us a message. Okay. I'm going to just take a breath here, and this one is calling my attention. Selenite people, victory! Archangel Sandalphon, love it. It says, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. Love this. Archangel Sandalphon's wings are almost iridescent with these rainbow colors, higher vibrational colors. Again, that Uranus energy is coming through here. The God mind energy. Archangel Sandalphon brings your intentions, brings your prayers up into the higher realms where they can be made manifest. And here I feel with his iridescent wings, there's again some messages, some information that's coming down to you. So you need to pay attention to whatever that is. But again, there's victory on the way. Your dreams, your hopes, your wishes are all going to be coming true here. You're moving towards what it is that you need to. And talk to your archangels, talk to Archangel Sandalphon, and ask him for what it is that you desire. Okay, for those of you that chose the Lemurian quartz crystal, Lemurian quartz. Just giving these a shuffle. This one's calling my attention. Indigo and crystal children. This is with Archangel Metatron. You have what does this say? You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So I'm feeling like this is something within the home and family for some of you. You have a child, maybe you have grandchildren, maybe your job involves working with children. This is also about working with the children of humanity, though. You could be working with adults who are crystal children, who are indigo children, as a teacher, as a therapist, as a counselor, as a life coach. This is really about something ramping up for you, that connection to help those with gifts, awakening their gifts, talents, and abilities. Coming into kind of turning on that light switch and understanding who they are as a light worker. There's something here where you're helping, and remember, it doesn't necessarily mean small children, because we're all children of humanity, but there's something here with Archangel Metatron that is asking you to start being more aware of and assisting those in awakening their special potential, awakening their special gifts. All right, and those of you that chose the Labradorite, let's see, Labradorite people, Labradorite. Okay, this one's calling my attention. Labradorite. Overcoming difficulties with Archangel Jeremiah. This is very good. The worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. And looking at that, we almost have like that phoenix looking kind of bird like I showed you in the water here. So again, you're rising from the ashes, being born anew, renew. Remember those words? Renew, revitalize, reawaken. From the Judgment card. So you're rising above and over this mountain of challenge or this mountain of difficulty. Sometimes mountains are very majestic. So again, look at things from a different perspective. You're surmounting something that's positive and beneficial because you learned something along the way. So don't look at whatever this mountain represents as something negative. But you're definitely overcoming it. You're moving beyond it. You're rising above it. And you're moving into the heavens here. The light shining down from the heavens to this bird. So this is a wonderful thing. And Archangel Jeremiah helps us to understand the past and where we've come, what we've been through, the past patterns, the karmic challenges, and to again rise above and renew ourselves. So beautiful, beautiful messages for all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, sharing, subscribing, and commenting on my videos. I send you all lots of love and light in this month of August, and many, many angel blessings to you all.